big with 2 G's. I'm going to repeat that. That's big with 2 G's.
So we back with another episode of the BiGG Umbrella Podcast. That's big with 2 G's. I'm going to repeat that. That's big with 2 G's, the BiGG Umbrella Podcast. And we got Sawsun here, my man.
What's good? What's good? I appreciate you pulling up and the opportunity to talk and yeah, just get to know you and have a conversation. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We appreciate the hospitality. You even inviting us in your space. Like I was telling you earlier, that's big off the rip for somebody to invite us in their own space.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, shoot, this is where I'll be doing most of my stuff anyway, so it felt right, you know? So yeah.
So shit, we starting off. Where are you from out here in San Diego?
So I'm here in La Jolla right now. I kind of grew up, spent a good amount of years in La Jolla. I was born and grew up more towards Escondido and kind of stayed in the Poway Unified School District area. So like RB, Carmel Mountain, Poway, but came out here around middle school time in La Jolla and been here since. Went to UCSB for school for undergrad for a few years. But yeah, grew up in La Jolla for the most part and been in San Diego.
Okay, what you studied when you went out there for school?
I came in as economics. Economics was tough out there. I switched up to psychology.
Okay.
Yeah, so I ended up doing psychology out there. And then right now I'm at SDSU finishing up my MBA.
Oh, you're still doing your thing?
Yeah, I finish in a few weeks. So I'm looking forward to...
In a few weeks?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to being done with that and like having a little more time and to have, you know, more discretion with like what I'm doing and whatnot.
How long has it been taking you to finish up at SDSU?
It's been a few years now. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
You enjoy school? Because I mean, for you to actually continue on after you like, you know, high school's like, okay, I still want to go to some more school.
Yeah, I do. It's like there's a few pros and cons about it. I mean, I definitely enjoy school and like having a mission to adhere to and like some sort of purpose to stay disciplined with, and also just being in the mix on campus, meeting people, things like that. But then also like right now, something that I'm finding that's frustrating for me is you know, I have other things going on. I have my job doing digital marketing. I have Sneaks, you know, a few other endeavors. So just finding the time between all those things sometimes gets tough. And right now I feel like, dang, I would much rather be putting into this than into the school, which honestly I'm kind of ready to be done with. So
yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with it, but it's definitely like a blessing to be able to do it. And yeah, I have enjoyed it. Like I definitely picked up a good amount from it and it's been an experience. So yeah, it's cool. It's all good.
Because that made me also think like, with what you're doing, with your brand and everything, do you feel like you even needed school to have you with the mindset you got to push a brand? It was like, I probably could have did this without school or feel like, okay.
Definitely could, my fault to cut you off.
No, you good, 100%.
Yeah, I would say you definitely could do it without, but definitely could do it without. I think I have learned some good things in there. And I think, like I said, it's just been good to stay disciplined and have something to adhere to. But I certainly don't think it's necessary. I kind of view it as like a privilege and an extra that I've been able to do. But I don't think it's necessary at all. You know, I think as corny as it sounds, like experience is going to be the best teacher. So
that ain't corny at all. That's real shit.
Yeah.
That ain't corny at all.
So I think like anyone who wants to do something, going out there and trying it, whether you fall flat on your face or, you know, hit like a double, triple, or a home run in your first time, it's going to be worth it just because if you're about it and you keep going, I think, you know, I believe that you'll find it if you're like true to it. So that's where I'm at. But I definitely feel fortunate to like have been able to gain the extra gaming knowledge and connection and whatnot from school. So yeah.
Well, was school something your parents pushed for you to actually continue on, or that was just something you took on?
A little bit of both. My parents both immigrants from Iran. So I think education was always big for them. I think anyone who knows immigrant parents kind of can relate and identify with that story of like them coming out here and having to scrap for stuff. So I think they always, with the sacrifices they made, always kind of view like school and the more responsible avenues and professions and the more like traditional avenues and professions. That's kind of, I think a lot of times they'll be in support of that. But yeah, so my parents, I think, definitely were a good influence to like continue education and beyond that. But also they're very supportive and like I have an older brother too, so they're very supportive of, you know, us following our heart and our dreams and doing what it is that we do. But I think they're just solid on like, I don't think they have a predetermined agenda, even though they kind of have in their mind what they might like. I think they'll
Right.
support us just as long as we're like staying true to it and doing our thing. So yeah, they're like amazing. I feel blessed to like have two solid parents because I know a lot of people don't have that, and like it's
100%.
a leg up, and I'm like definitely see that and understand that and like feel like blessed, lucky to have that.
And I always touch on that with people because I know, like you just said, everybody doesn't have two parents. It was like,
Mhm.
and I'm one of them who didn't. So it's
Yeah.
always be like, did that? You feel like that was more of a benefit for you? And obviously, you just touched on that. So yeah, that was more of a benefit for you.
Yeah.
So do you feel like with your parents are supporting your brand? Because like you said, they usually kind of want you to go the traditional way. Probably you should have been a doctor, or you should have been this, or you should have been a lawyer. You should have been this. It's like, well, actually, I like playing ball, and I got a sneaks brand going, Mom. So
Yeah, well, my brother's a lawyer, so he's taking some of that weight off my shoulders, I guess. But
right.
yeah, man, nah, it's like you were touching on. Certainly, I hate to say it, but even like a leg up. I don't think everyone is blessed to come up in a home with like love and stability and stuff. And every home has its tough times and problems, but like to be able to have that, it's a big thing and a big foundation. Yeah, that's always been big. My pops be around town wearing my stuff. People will snap me pictures.
Oh,
Same with
that's
my
dope.
mom. They be pulling up to the tournaments, helping out, and just like definitely supporting it and being proud about it. And even offering to help. My pops always, is offering to me like to sit down and help with the numbers and stuff. And honestly, I haven't even took it up as much as I want to, and he's always been there as a resource. So I say that just to say like they've been super supportive and yeah, definitely like supportive and empowering of my dreams and ambitions
Yeah.
and whatnot. Yeah.
You kind of touched on like, how most people they go through rough times. What was a rough time for you that actually elevated you to be where you at now?
Mm. It's also gonna sound a little corny, but it was a breakup that was really tough for me that kind of helped me a lot with like a lot of things in life. Biggest thing kind of like taking accountability and whatnot. And then also my trial through the MBA program because it's been very rocky. And I came in kind of not really doing my thing and I got my grades low. And then I had to fight back to get back reinstated and lift my grades and do really solid. And ever since I got back, I had like my best semester every semester since. So those are like a few things that those have been like some trials that I definitely have grown through. And then, there's a lot of stuff in personal everyday life, like passing of relatives and close friends
Definitely.
and relationships and how they play out and stuff like that. And you learn from everyday life and everything that happens. So I think it's always like some shit that you could look at to, evaluate yourself and kind of, see where you went, see what you like about what you did and see what you don't like and how you want to improve. And like I'm not perfect, but I definitely hope that like, I'm like conscientious and always striving to like pick up on those things and do the best I can.
I like that you even got that mentality of like
Yeah.
you always want to elevate and be positive. So like
Yeah.
that's even good to even have because a lot of people don't. Some people don't even have that type of mindset. So the
Mm.
fact that you got that is like that's major.
Yeah.
You touched on the MBA program. What is that exactly?
Yeah. So it's a business degree, postgraduate. So
That was a M as in Michael or N as
yeah,
in.
Michael,
Oh, okay.
MBA, like the NBA's brother, I guess, the more official brother. But
Mhm.
I like the NBA. I like the NBA better than the
See,
NBA.
that's
But
all. That's why I was like, wait, did he say MBA or he say
yeah,
MBA?
but it's MBA. It's Masters in Business Administration, and there's a bunch of different programs, and it's relatively fresh compared to like more traditional curriculum. So there's like, depending on the place, you might get a little bit of a different experience, but
Mhm.
it's all like classes in like management and a little bit of finance and strategy and things of that nature. So you could kind of like pick your courses and cater it a little bit towards what you're interested in. Like there's different focuses and whatnot, but yeah, it's kind of like soft sciences, like
So is that
learning
more
about
so
stuff.
kind of helping you on your business aspect of what you got going for sneaks?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in the classes and the projects you see, there's processes and systems we're being put through that is like direct roadmaps to things I can and should be doing for my stuff. So
Mhm.
it's definitely solid. Yeah.
What inspired you to have even want to start a business?
I've always, man, since the jump, I think I don't know what it is, but I've always had in my mindset in my mind that like I want to create something, and it always just made sense to me that like I would want to use my energy to build myself up rather than build someone else up. And now, and that's always been my mindset. So I think I've been always entrepreneurially driven. And when I came back from college, when I graduated from UCSB, I like immediately wanted to start something.
And how long ago was that when you graduated?
2017.
For
So
sure.
in the fall/winter of 2017, I started San Diego Sneaks, which was
Why you do that?
because it's Sneaks clothing brand now, and it's like it transitioned from San Diego Sneaks, the original, which I'm about to get into. But I think like until recently, I changed the name to Sneaks clothing brand, but like people still call it San Diego Sneaks and whatnot. So I'm kind of like trying. I like be consciously, trying to frame it as Sneaks clothing brand because it's evolved from what it started as. But I started it as San Diego Sneaks in 2017, and I always been into basketball. That's like my biggest love growing up.
Mhm.
Even still to this day, basketball is my favorite thing on earth, like no question. Um, and from that, I had like a love of sneakers
Mhm.
since an early age, and from that came like fashion, streetwear, hip hop, like all that type of stuff. But um, yeah, I always had that love of basketball and then followed by shoes. So when I finished school, when I got back home, I had a bunch of shoes sitting around and I wanted to start something.
Yeah.
So I started this San Diego Sneaks Instagram page and I was reselling shoes and eventually it became curated vintage. But I was doing that for some time and it was gaining a little bit of traction. And then the summer of 2018, the next summer after I started, me and my buddy Tyson Youngs, who I went to high school with, we put on the Sneaks Summer Classic, which is now we just did our 4th year this past summer, and it's grown crazy. But that was the first time we did it, and it was a community basketball tournament and like community event. And I had made shirts for everyone who was playing in it, and people liked the shirts and were messaging me like, "Oh, can I buy one XYZ?"
I'm
So
sure that felt
it
good.
was awesome. It was dope. I actually
Hold on, where my shit
what
at?
I made for that was what I made for that. The chest design became like the first logo that I ever did, and I have it. This isn't the full version, but it's that little palm logo right there. It's usually
Yeah.
red, white, and
That's what's
blue,
on your
like the
socks.
NBA logo. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So that was my first logo. We made it for the tournament. Um, Oop, I was probably away from the mic, but
Nah, you straight.
but people liked that shirt, and then I sold it. So that was kind of the start in my head of Sneaks clothing brand, and from there, over the next year, I transitioned it from curated shoes and vintage and whatnot over to becoming a clothing brand. And then after like a year from that point, I dropped that, and it's just been clothing brand ever since. And I've been, yeah, continuing to like develop as a designer, creative, content, all that stuff. I've been progressing and hopefully doing a better job. So still just trying to grow on that. And yeah, now it kind of exists. Not kind of, it exists as Sneaks clothing brand
Definitely. You gonna
as
have to
opposed
definitely. Ain't
to
no kinda.
yeah, as opposed to San Diego Sneaks, which some people
Yeah.
still know it as, but it's Sneaks clothing brand.
And what made you want to change that? Because it's like maybe now I'm doing more than just sneaks. I got a
Yeah.
whole line.
I'm happy you asked that question because I think I always wanted to like create something. So this is certainly like more in the vein of creating my own thing and creating my own thing. When I was selling shoes, sure, I like had started my own little business, but I was just flipping shoes for a quick buck.
Right.
That was not like as real or as fulfilling to me as creating my own
This is
brand.
my
And
shit I
yeah, I'm
made.
designing it. It's like original. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's my creation. Like, can nobody take that away from me? You could think it's shit, you could love it, but like whatever you say, like
I
I
made
did that.
that.
You know what I mean? So whether you like it or not, it's something that I could be proud of. So yeah, it's a creation of mine, and I think that's what I like about it
Mhm.
more. Yeah.
I know you said your mom and your dad like they be wearing stuff. Do your brother still support you
Oh
like
hell
your mom
yeah,
and dad do?
he be wearing it more. Damn near, when I'm posting stuff, he's reposting. So they're all super super supportive. I'm like definitely blessed with a solid family unit, and even beyond that, like community and friends and whatnot,
Yeah.
and like supporting cast. So for sure.
So I'm not used to La Jolla area. What is
Mm.
it like growing up out here? Because I know folks will be looking at this up like, oh, La Jolla, that's bougie. Whatever.
Oh, I know.
I don't know La Jolla
Yeah,
like that. So
I feel you. I don't. Yeah, I feel you. I definitely see that. I came over here already kind of like developed as a kid, So of course, like I was still in here for middle school and high school years, so I continued my development here, and it's certainly a big piece of me and has influenced me. But I think I came over here with my own set of interests and passions. Like I grew up loving basketball. I
Mhm.
come here and some people might like basketball, but we're, also a block from the beach right now. So
Right.
people are gonna be into like surfing, skating,
Of course.
stuff like that. And also it's like definitely some money out here. So people are gonna be privileged and like not all have like people, like not everyone like moves the same way out here. So um it's definitely those were like some things that I just like I don't even want to say adjusted to because it's just cool. I feel like I can mesh in anywhere. And it's like, this is my people. I love them. I like grew around them. And like,
Right.
it's all the homies. Like, I step out and it's like, I run into people that I've known through the years and it's love. Like, I got love for everyone out here. So, yeah, this is my spot, like, yeah, it's cool.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like, I could definitely see that like bougie aspect. Like, they might not.
No, and for me, even after I said that, I'm like, I don't even want him to feel like that. But I know outlook some people.
No, I
have,
definitely do feel
like
that way, man. Because you'll be rolling up and you'll see like, I don't want to be judgmental, but you'll see like a very snooty woman in like a super nice Range Rover who this is a judgment, but she probably didn't do nothing for that.
Right.
And she's like doing X, Y, and Z, being, kind of a brat. So like that shit exists too. But I don't want to like highlight that. I want to highlight like the beautiful things that this has like been for me and like what I've took from it. And it's like a lot of love out here. And we do that tournament here every summer. This is like the rec center right here in La Jolla. That's where I spent the most hours of my life besides like where I reside at, where I like go to sleep at. So it's like a lot of love out here, but like there is that aspect of it too. But I think just like anywhere there's beautiful things, and then there's stuff that you might not want to like claim or be as much of a part of, but it's love out here. And
that's why I'm glad you touched on that. Cause like I said, I don't live out here. So he obviously have a better outlook on whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? So also, how did you even get involved with the lacrosse team?
Yeah, I'll tell you that in a second. But also, this summer, the tournament, you and Isaac got to pull up and come.
Bro,
come enjoy it. I know you want to play in it,
man,
so we'll see what's
even
good.
Even if that's not the case,
yeah,
we
but
gonna
either
come
way,
regardless.
And like that way, you'll kind of get a vibe for the community because they show out and they help us to be able to do it. Like we wouldn't be able to do it without them, and they come out and show hella love and support. So you guys will come out and see that hopefully. But,
no doubt. Cause I mean, I ain't no big baller like that, so I ain't even tripping about if I don't get to play.
But
like,
you'll get a vibe.
I'm coming out regardless.
You'll get a vibe for what's going on. At that time, hopefully, if not sooner. But yeah, with these, so we made a pair of blue, I call these the wave shorts. People really like them. I love them. It's one of my favorite things I've ever done. First custom cut and sew
my
piece.
favorite thing I ever done. Like
just because there's other things like even the NGU hoodie right here, which was one of my first. It's like an ode to Kobe, even before he passed. That's my favorite player. Oof. It's inspired by his 4 air ball moment against Utah his rookie year in the playoffs, and it's called Never. It's like the NGU hoodie, Never Give Up. That's one of my favorites.
That shit is super clean.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't want to claim favorites because everything has a piece that I love, but this one I really love because it's the first custom cut and sew product I've done. So I we did the cut, the design. This is like custom fabric, all that. With the metal tips, yeah,
that's big. Even like you said, the metal tips,
just good
that's
details.
not just
it's
regular.
Quality product. Yeah, we run them at 65, and people sell them out every time. So I love them. But anyways, back to like the genesis of it is I made these shorts for the tournament this year. I was actually I'm taking a few diversions, but I just want to make sure.
No, we gonna cover all that. Definitely. Yeah. No, you good.
So, bro, Calvin, I met. He reached out to me. He runs a brand called Crossed. And we were going to.
I was just wearing his shorts last night.
Oh, that's what's up.
Shit.
Yeah.
I was just wearing his shit last night. Too. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, solid. He actually just came out with some new ones too. So shout out to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I met him shortly before the tournament, and he was fucking with the brand and what we were doing with the tournament and all that. And he was talking about being involved, and I was wanting to do a pair of collab shorts with him for the tournament, but time kind of ran out and we got up near the deadline and he wasn't able to do it because I don't blame him. It was pressed.
Mm-hmm.
But he shot me a rec for like someone to try out in terms of like helping me out with the manufacturing. Mm-hmm. And so I took that and ran with it and we got it done and the shorts came out. And I had met a dude, back to how we got these to happen with the lacrosse team. I met a dude, Chris Carr.
I like how you circle back to that.
Yeah. I just, I know I'm going a little over. I just want to make sure I'm like being, I just want to make sure I'm like directing back to where we're going. But I met Chris Carr at my homie's spot in PB like during 2020, and he reached out to me like, "Yo, those shorts you did are fire. We need some for the team."
They really don't.
And I was
for
like,
real.
"Okay, that's love." But those are like special for the tournament. We're not running them again.
Yeah.
But I would be happy to make something special for y'all. So this is their colors. San Diego Lacrosse Club. They're like pink and blue.
Yeah.
So I made these pink wave shorts for them, and we made them for their team, which was dope. That's like the first like bulk order I've got. So I appreciated the opportunity, and even more than that, like we ordered a few extra pairs and had them for our people, and I got my own pair too. That's them right there.
You're going to have your own pair.
I need
Hell
them. I
yeah.
need them. But yeah, so I love them. They definitely got a special place for me. And it's just like a quality product for real, for real.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love these. And Chris gave me the opportunity to do them with San Diego Lacrosse. And yeah, one of my favorites to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What got you so invested in making that tournament? Because you said, like you said, you had it going for 4 years. What even, I don't know, you look like you got a love for basketball.
Yeah.
What was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to actually do a tournament.
That's it. Like a few things. Love for the game, love for ball, love for the community, and like a desire to do something entrepreneurial. And Tyson, my homie, Tyson Youngs, we went to high school together. This is like one of my close friends. And we both came back, and he's also kind of on the same thing. You know, he has that sort of mindset, like wanting to do stuff as well. So we both had this idea, and we kind of came in around the same idea. Like we both had this idea that we want to create this hoop tournament in our hometown, and we kind of just, yeah, man, we really both had the idea and just linked up on it and made it happen. And we did the first year in 2018, and we did such a great job. And we look back on it now, and we're like, wow, that shit was so stripped down. It wasn't even, you look back and it was
progressed.
Yeah, like, and I still have so much love for that. It's not even like a bad thing, but just like where it is, this last one we did, and every year we progressed to looking back at that, like it was so bare bones now looking at it, but it was awesome. And like, it was great turnout. I did the shirts, which was the birth of the brand for me. Community showed out. It was good basketball, good vibes. We had the food and like DJ and performances and stuff like we always do. And yeah, man, it just became something, and we did it, and it was great feedback that like, that was exactly what we wanted and hoped for. So ever since then, we just took that and ran with it, and really just been taking, I was gonna say trying, but honestly not even trying, like
doing.
If I could say, we've been taking it up every year, and like, I feel confident saying that, and I feel like people could vouch for that we put in a lot of work, and we've improved it year by year. So
I definitely wanted to ask you, like, how was it for the first year? Like the first year, we're like, okay, we're gonna link up with my homie. We're gonna have to put this out. Did you get the support that you was hoping for, or even more than that?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I can't really remember back to the moment, but I would say now I got even more than I was hoping for, because people rallied around it, and it was some new shit that people didn't have to support. But I think it's something that people are down for, man. It gives people a reason to like come out and like, show some community love and like support some shit that's going on. And it's, people love basketball. People love linking up with their homies who they haven't seen in a while, get some good food, whatever, just have a little vibe. So like, I feel like people came in around that, but I couldn't ask for more support. And then also with the teams, man, it was a grind to get the team. The first year we had 12 teams. It was a grind to get them signed up, and I'm happy we made it happen. And then like now, we have wait lists where like a blessed like have that, and I hope it keeps going. But we have wait lists where we're like picking and choosing who we think is like the best hoopers and the best fit for the tournament. But it was a progression from like hitting everyone we knew from our personal Rolodex of like years of hooping in the community to try to make it happen, to now like we got good people. We got like we always have ex-college, current college, ex-pro players. This year we had Lance Moore, Super Bowl champion from the New Orleans Saints. He was out there hooping. He had a raw squad. Eric Childress, point guard from my school, UCSB.
How did they even find you?
They just know now, like we've been doing it, and we've done a good job. And I think, yeah, man, we've just been doing a good job. And I think laying down a good one after another one, like the word starts to get out and people start to see it. And we've started to do a better job. And we're still trying to get better too. It's a million things I can see for improvement, but we're doing a better job of like, we're doing a good job of like pushing it out there and like, showing people what we're doing and what we're trying to build.
That's fucking mate. That's what's up, man. Like you actually really got that shit going. Like you started that motherfucker from scratch with the homie, and it's like now you got folks reaching out. Like you said, I only had 12 teams. I had to reach out to them. Now folks like we got a wait list.
Yeah.
So what entails like you be like, okay, you know what? We want this team on there. So what is it? I guess the qualifications that it takes for you to feel like, okay, we want them to play.
Hoopers.
First, like you said, it was from 12 teams, now turning into like
16 now.
16.
From year 2, 3, 4, it's been 16. And I think we would love to involve more, but we got 2 courts of the reckoning. It's a one-day thing as of right now. So like we got to be mindful of that too. But I would love to hopefully be able to involve as many people as possible in the future. But 16, and the kind of what we're looking for in the criteria is a few things. Is like, can you hoop? How good are you? It's pretty high level. Like it's good ball. It's good ball. You gotta be able to play. Like you might not have to be every person on the squad. Doesn't have to be Kobe, but like, you probably want to know what you're doing.
You want to show.
You want to know what you're doing out there, even if you're just playing a role, grabbing rebounds, or like bringing the ball up, or just making sure you're the shooter for the team. Whatever it is, like it's good competition, is what I'm trying to say. So we definitely like look at talent level, and there's a lot of people out there. So we look at talent level. And then also beyond talent level, we definitely want people who's like going to represent like the community love aspect of it, and kind of just like the camaraderie and vibes of the event. We're going to want people who's like going to like support that and be respectful of that and like keep the vibes cool. And I'm all for talking shit, bro. Like I talk a lot. Like that's where basketball is where I talk. That's where I get my shit off. So like, trust me, I'm all for it, but also at the same time, you gotta be able to keep it cool. I'm all for the chirp, but like don't be doing some crazy shit that me and Tyson have to now worry about cleaning up in this.
Like don't get in my face and slap me or push me around.
Yeah, and even if it's like a little, you can talk and like maybe even a little shove. That's part of the game, but like we don't need any of the extras, and we're just trying to put on a cool environment. Of course, we're gonna chirp and compete, but like don't be doing none of the extras. That's kind of just like what we're looking for.
Because you bring it down now what we actually trying to represent.
Yeah,
we're trying
to represent
like ballers. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And I know in the third year, man, there was some drama going on. It was a dude had like sipped too much, and I don't know what was going on, but he was like upset at some situation that was happening, and we were like trying to enjoy the championship game, and Tyson and I kind of had to try to do our best to like manage this shit and keep it cool. So just things like that, and then even it's been like a few little like fights that have broken out. Like I said, I'm all for like talking chippiness and up, right. But like don't be like don't be like really like trying to do no
don't
mouse
get to
in
the
palace.
Physical aspect.
Don't be like doing no mouse in the palace shit out here. We don't need it. Like so just to come back to the question, people that can hoop and people that's gonna be like a good match and respectful of like the vibes we're trying to curate and put together for the event.
You still got hoop dreams?
Man, that's a good question, because in the bottom of my heart, yes. Also, like realistically, I'm 26 and I'm trying to do my thing, so who knows? But like I be staying active, like if I had to realistically answer your question, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. But that's always been my dream. And even like after college for a little bit, I was playing a lot, like trying to maybe look into like some semi-pro or even just some overseas shit just to like fulfill that dream and desire of like trying to do it. So I'll never want to rule it out. I also like have a dream of like playing for Iran, my country, for like the national team someday.
Hey.
So, I'll never want to rule it out, but I don't want to be disrespectful to the people that's like, dedicating themselves to it day in, day out. I love the game and I be playing as much as I can, but I'm not like, it's not my first thing when I wake up, which shit, I even wish it was, but that's just not what's happening right now. So I'll never rule it out, but we'll see.
And I don't feel that's you disrespecting at all. If somebody noticed your talent and they was like, yo, we want him, that ain't no disrespect. They're like, yo, I noticed his talent. Like,
I would do it, but I wouldn't like mortgage the rest of whatever I have going on to do it. I would like maybe play a season here or there or whatever and do it. But like if I had some real shit going on where I had the chance to like change my life and make some shit happen, and it was between that and like playing basketball, I don't know if I'd do it. But it's also tough because like that's a dream of mine too. But I think at the same time, I gotta be like responsible and try to do the best for my life. So like you always gotta weigh between that. But I would say like it's a dream. And if I ever had the opportunity and it worked out, I would love that. That'd be tight.
Yeah, of course. And like you said, that was your dream. So if that came about and I was like, hey,
yeah,
I pick it up. And like, I mean, I obviously what I have going on in my life, that's obviously going to revolve around the decisions I can make.
Yeah. I always want to be an NBA player. I remember back like in the elementary school in the projects, Like they would like, have these little projects. What do you want to be or what do you like? I would always be talking about Lakers, Kobe, basketball. Like I want to play.
I
be a
thought you meant like
basketball
the
player.
projects and the projects. I
No,
was like, oh, damn.
no. Just like little class
No, yeah,
projects in
class
school and shit
projects.
like that. Like I remember vividly, there was one we made some card, like talking about what we want to be or whatever, and it was this picture of Kobe dribbling up the court in the number 8 with the little stripe across for Chick Hearn, and I had glued my head over it because we were talking about like what we wanted to be. But I just always remember that. But I think that was like always my dream. And I want to say it's not possible. Like there's been people like Nate Robinson, Pierre Jackson, you name it, who like Isaiah Thomas who do it at that height. But I definitely didn't have like the greatest odds. I'm not like 6'6", hella
of
athletic.
course.
You know what I mean? I had to like really grind and put in some hours to be. I think I'm a good hooper now, and I think like people I play with could hopefully vouch for that. But it definitely took a lot of time. Like I don't think I was meant to be a great basketball player. You know what I mean? Meant physically, like I don't know. I guess I love it, so maybe I was meant in that sense. But like, I wasn't born to be an NBA player. I think. Yeah.
What was high school like for you?
High school was cool, man. I had a great high school experience.
What high school you went to?
La Jolla High, right here.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, I had a great high school experience. I went to Muirlands Middle School, 7th and 8th, right up the street, like literally the next block over. So it was coming in.
This is for real home.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of continuity there. And a lot of continuity there and good stuff. Like it was cool, man. I had a great high school experience. It was solid. Like saw a group of people around me. It was like good love and stuff around home. Got to play basketball and do some stuff like that and just be in a good environment. So yeah, man, I have like fond memories of high school for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody obviously when you start something, you plan on taking it. No, actually, let me stop right there. What was it like with you? I know you designed this motherfucker right here for Larry June. What was that experience like? Like you even, like what made you even think like, okay, this gonna be the one?
Yeah, so that happened a few weekends ago. And Larry's been like, that's been one of my favorite artists for a few years now, since I want to say 2019, 2020, when he put out Mr. Midnight.
That's when you guys talking with the
yeah. Hey.
Stay healthy, my nigga.
But so yeah, man, I've been a fan of him for a while, and then he was really like my favorite artist, and he was just someone that I adhered to and was kind of following because he's talking some good stuff about like bossing up and just living good and stuff
mental
like that.
health and being healthy.
So, it was something I was a fan of, and I just doing my brand. I always like I'm kind of looking at people who ideally I would want to represent my brand and rock with it. So he was like a natural. He inspired me to do a lot of it throughout the process. So first in November 2021, I went to a show out here with a few of my homies, and I threw a pack on stage for him. He said, "Good job, merch." Yeah, but so that was cool. We got a whole little video and everything, and I got to like it was cool. Got some views on it and stuff, but I never heard from him. And then fast forward to this past summer, someone who I now call a friend, Dre Lewis. I hadn't met him yet, but he reached out. He wanted to host our basketball tournament, and he's Herm Lewis's son. Herm Lewis, he's always on the intros and outros and stuff, talking on the album. So that was a cool connection, and we like talked to him, and he had good love for the tournament and the energy for it. So we had him come through, and he killed it. And we hit it off.
He got that podcast, right?
Yeah, YouTube show. So what do you do?
So that's funny as hell because I was actually talking to him too. Like no cap, I was talking to him.
I remember you hit me and told me that.
So I was talking to him, and he was like, "Oh, when I come out there, like I had no problem even coming on." So I'm like, "For real?" So I'm like, "That's what's up." Just off a whim of somebody just like reaching out and like, "Yo, I fuck with him." Like, that's what's up.
He's really cool. So yeah, he even like.
And you even hit with the.
Yeah, he's my guy. He'd be showing a lot of love and supporting, and he's doing his thing. So I gotta always do the same back.
Yeah.
But, he even, he was cool. He came and killed the host stuff with us. He even came over here and pulled up on me and my homies and went out with us that night. And we all had a night and a weekend together, and it was fun. It was actually his birthday the day before the tournament too. So he came and spent his birthday weekend with us.
So he was going to do it
love. Anyways, circling back to the Larry June stuff, he had invited me to, Larry had a Red Bull Soundclass show with Babyface, right? The Regency in SF. And then the next night there was a Goodfellas and Friends show with like Jay Worthy, RBL Posse, a bunch of Bay artists who I didn't even know. And I got put on to like
Did you know Jay Worthy before
I knew
that?
Jay Worthy
Oh,
just
okay.
being a fan of Larry and
Yeah,
whatnot, but like
exactly.
it was some Bay legends in there. Like it was this dude, Lot Flood. So, I think his name's Lot, and like his whole thing is Flood. I might be saying that wrong, but he was hard, bro. And it was like people I was put on to that night for sure. But Larry was also there, so I got to see him back-to-back nights. And yeah, in preparation for the trip, I made this shirt with the little,
And that shit is clean.
The World Is Yours, TFM, and Sneaks sample project, and then this little stars design I've been meaning to do, and like a little Daygo to the Bay, just some hits unique to that. And then I made this hat, like a main one. It has the LJ that I drew, the little basketball with the orange. That's his orange, and I'm tying my shit in with the basketball. And then same text here. So it was a dope thing. I liked it, and people even wanted to buy it at the show, so that was cool.
Of course.
But I got a chance to hand that to him at the Vallejo show, the Goodfellas and Friends, which was cool. And yeah, like I heard by way of Dre that he fucked with the hat and stuff, so that was cool. I never like got direct contact from him, but he said he liked it, and it was just a cool experience to be able to get out there and do it. So it's like definitely like gratitude for the inspiration to be doing this shit and to even have the opportunity to get to create some shit and give it to him.
The opportunity.
Cool. Yeah.
So with you having to balance so much, like how do you keep your mental health at a level where I could still succeed?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an everyday process, and sometimes they're better than the others. But yeah, man, I think like everyone goes through their stuff, and feelings of like lack of motivation and stuff always hit. So I think just something I found, and I'm not always doing a great job. Like right now in this moment, I'm trying to play basketball more, try to do even little things like go out and watch the sunset, stuff like that. So like there's a few things I know that will like always keep me feeling good. That if I do, I'll feel good. So it's just like trying to be mindful of those things. And if I notice I'm slipping with it, trying to pick myself up to get after that. But I'm not perfect just like anyone. And sometimes, I'm not doing it like as great as I want to be, but that's always the idea is like, I feel like I'm blessed in a position where everything's in my life is pretty solid. So like anytime something's not going how I like to, most of the times I could look at myself in the mirror and know that like, that's because of me. And I have the power and the opportunity to like pick that up and change it.
What brought the confidence to yourself? Because most people, I mean, I ain't gonna say everybody's not so confident within themselves. Was it the accolades or people like letting you know they fuck with you? Like what brought the confidence to yourself?
Yeah, I would also say that's like an everyday thing too. But yeah, I mean, I think just being secure in who I am and like knowing who I am, and I'm not always perfect, and I've definitely taken missteps, and there's some things where like I haven't always acted in the best way, and I would like,
of course, we all,
there's always things where I like look back and be like, damn, I could be better, and I hope to be better next time. But at the end of the day, I feel like I know my heart, and I know like I'm proud of like who I am as a person. So I feel confident and secure in that, if nothing else. Yeah. But I think just like anyone else, sometimes if I post something and I'm not seeing much love or like interaction or engagement from it, I'm human. Like it might be like, damn, but
that wasn't it.
Yeah, some not realize though, you just like gotta keep pushing because not everything's gonna be hit. And I think like as you keep going, shit gets better and you learn. And like the consistency is always gonna get you right because even for the people we love, like not everything's gonna hit. So some of my favorite artists, they put out a project and I might not listen to it, but like 2 or 3 years later, I might pick it up and start to connect with it. So it's like, you never know, and it's never a time on thing, and you also like progress through the process. So, yeah, I'm always mindful of that, and like, even if something doesn't always necessarily go exactly how you want to, I think I'm just like, have a pride and conviction in what I'm doing, and I just want to keep doing it until I, get to where I think I could be.
So you really be learning from the experiences you've been going through with your life.
Yeah.
What caused you, because I know we kind of touched on it earlier, what caused you to be like, okay, this is like now going on a relationship tip. Like what caused you to lock your lady down?
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know we'd be going there, but yeah, that's cool.
No, and that's anything. Like,
I'm happy to talk about it.
Niggas ain't on that, it's like,
no, I'm happy to talk about it. I was, just a surprise, but no, she's awesome. And yeah, man, I'm at the stage where, I think all of us, like at this young stage in life, we're trying to get our stuff together and kind of set up our life. So I don't think I'm like was necessarily super intent on like, oh, I gotta have a girlfriend. I actually, the time when I like started locking in with her was when I cut off social media, didn't drink or smoke for a month, and kind of just locked myself up, uh damn near, so to speak. Like I was just doing my thing. I was going and doing the markets on the weekend, selling my stuff, staying out the way, just trying to keep it going. Donda had come out. I was locking in with Donda. That was my shit, bro. That's one of my favorite albums. And yeah, man, just at that time, it kind of just naturally happened. We organically, like, I had known her before, but we kind of started seeing each other around that time. And she's just super solid, like, very supportive, like very loving, caring, thoughtful, supportive of my stuff I have going on. And, you know, um, yeah, just like definitely wants to see me do well, and I want the same for her. So she's super solid. So I would say like I wasn't even necessarily in the headspace of like I need some
Right.
like a girlfriend right now, but I think just when someone that's all comes around that can't,
I gotta scoop her up.
yeah, you gotta like, you never know. That might not,
That ain't
you don't know
coming
how many
again.
times that comes around. So like when someone
Exactly.
saw it and is a real one in front of you, like you better show them that like appreciation and respect. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, she's great.
So with you like growing up with your parents always together, like is that something you more so like I wanted to encompass this with what I got going now?
Yeah, I think, um,
And if not, I mean that wasn't
for
the
sure.
case.
I
You
mean, I
feel
think
me?
I always just had, and just like any relationship, it wasn't perfect the entire time, but I think I definitely had a good image of like a stable household and a solid relationship. So I think I grew up always seeing that as, the natural progression in my life. And I kind of just always thought, wife and kids at some point. So I think that's my natural constitution. I'm also like pretty open minded. I wouldn't say I'm bound to that. Like I'm open to thinking whatever, but I think in my head, I always kind of envisioned like, a solid lady and a family down the
Yeah.
line. Yeah.
You already just touched on like a family. How many kids you like you actually want?
Mm. Um,
You want a big family? Or you like I'm good after I get my boy.
yeah, yeah. I don't even know. Like, I haven't thought about that too deep because I think I'm not there and kind of a little ways away from there right now.
Right.
But I would say ideally, like 2 to 4 would probably be.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, it's okay. That's on the scale. It's like okay, I can be
yeah,
good with 2, possibly 4. I feel
yeah.
you.
I think 2 is cool. 3 or 4 would be cool. Also, it starts becoming a lot of responsibility and money and whatnot, which I don't want to limit it to that. But I think 2 is cool. That's what I came up in, so that's what I know, and I had a great experience with that. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I know you got an older brother. You got a big family though.
Yeah. On my dad's side is in Iran. I've never really met too many of them, which I hope to do. I've never been to Iran, so I want to go back. Um, at some point. It's always been a lot of times tumultuous over there, so I haven't like a lot of times I've wanted to go. It hasn't really happened, but I hope to go there sometime, in the near future. But then my mom has a good amount of family out here in the U.S. So
Mhm.
like,
And is that out here in San Diego or that's across?
no, it's a few in like Orange County, and then it's some in Kansas.
Mhm.
So yeah, she has a lot of brothers and sisters, and from that I have cousins and some extended family as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely like a strong family, and they're all, always loving stuff too. So like fortunate there as well.
So when it comes to like family events, how everybody just spread out. I mean, for Thanksgiving. Like, what? How do you even get down for Thanksgiving since everybody's so spread out? Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. So we're
But your
like
parents is out here.
yeah, yeah, they're really close to me actually. We're like a really tight, like close family unit, like my parents and my brother. And then also, we are close with them as well, but we're like, we're locked in for most of the things. And then sometimes we'll go to OC and link up with like my mom's sister and some of them.
Mhm.
Um, so like whenever it works out, we definitely link up. But a lot of times, we kind of just lock in and like be grateful to have each other, like with our
Mhm.
close family.
Is there any new drops that you got for sneaks that you even like, or any new ideas that you got for sneaks?
Yeah, so a bunch. The things I'm coming out with, on like the ASAP. I don't know when this airs, but we're like in mid-November right now, and the next things I'm putting out is that tie-dye shirt. You see it on the table and on
Right.
that rack.
Oh, we
And
definitely gonna be wearing that shit.
yeah, and then this so that's the balloons tee. It's a favorite that's sold out before. I'm bringing it back with some new features. We got that SD cord hat, which I got the last few left. I'm gonna do a limited release of this. I'm calling it the Bay Tour tee, the one I did for the Bay Trip for Larry. So the one I'm wearing, I'm gonna do that as well as the hat. And then also I'm just gonna do a more general release version of this as well as a few other things. We got the totes that's right over there. We can't see them. So the iHeart SD tote and then the balloons tote that goes with the shirt. So those are a few things I'm putting out. And then beyond that, we're gonna try to push out as much stuff as we can. I have in line for more away shorts with other teams. I don't know if we're gonna put them out for our people or not, but we might do that. And then also I have a few sweatsuits and things like that planned. So
especially for the wintertime.
Yeah, exactly. So also just trying to have a focus on more custom products too. Like I love those. So I want to do as much of that as possible. But kind of looking at a few of those things and trying to keep it pushing. Also trying to get to the end of finals with school. So looking forward to getting through that.
Yeah,
and then once I get through
with this shit.
I'm like really looking forward to having a lot of bandwidth to like really be I think I've been doing a good job of staying consistent with products and content, but like definitely want to, continue ramping it up.
For sure.
Yeah.
What inspired the camera work? Because I know you real involved with even taking all the pics and everything like that.
Yeah. I think it was just necessity / I don't know. I always feel like I have an aesthetic sense and like an eye for the stuff. My pops got me that as a graduation gift after I finished undergrad. And yeah, since I've just been using it to take professional pictures to make my stuff look better. So when it was the shoes, it was the products. And for this, even shooting the products. And just through time, I started taking the camera around, learning to shoot a little bit, shooting my own shoots for new products with the homies. So yeah, kind of just natural development of taking pictures. Before I used to like, at first I used to shrug it off like, oh, I don't really take pics like that. And I still kind of feel that way, but also, I don't want to like shy away from it. And I don't want to like defer any credit. Like I do take some solid pictures. So I've grown into it a little bit and still learning. But yeah, it's kind of just been like through the process of learning and growing with this stuff.
That's just crazy. Just how much, like you said, like you started and how much you progressed. Like look at all the products you got. Like I'm sure that's a good feeling to look at. I started from this to this. Like what keeps you going?
Yeah, it's definitely, man, it's awesome to look back and see the progression. Like I'll be getting on like my snap memories and seeing stuff from like 2-3 years ago. And it's just like, I'm blessed to like, every time I see it, I'm just like, damn, even as much as like day to day, I might feel like I'm not doing as much as I want to be doing. It's like nice to look back and see the progression. But yeah, man, I think like what inspires me to keep going is, I have visions of making this a successful thing and everyone has their own definitions for success. I think mine would just be like something wide scale that I'm able to like provide for myself off of, that all the homies fuck with, and that like people in the community of like my community and like streetwear, whatever you want to call it, community in a larger sense, could just look at the stuff and be like, oh, this is solid, it's like good stuff. I want it to be like valid work.
Right.
So I think that just inspires me to like get it to that point. And I feel like I've done a good job, but there's certainly like a million miles to go. So just always trying to progress towards that like vision I have of it being successful on the guidelines that like I just said.
Yeah. So with you, how you've been pushing, how did you even get in touch with the ball people like LeVar Ball and Dad and all them shits?
Yeah.
How did they even like, yo, I see what you're doing. How did they even come in like?
Yeah, so that actually, it's a good tool out there called Cameo. And Cameo is people can use it however they want, but pretty much they have their price and you shoot it for like a shout out. I know Bobby Hundreds in the past had set it up. He's a co-founder of the Hundreds. He had set it up like ask me a question, shoot me this on Cameo, and I'll at the end of the week like take all the money and give it to one of the people who asked me the question who I like thought was the best. But that's just like an example of how someone use it. But for the tournament, we wanted to hype it up. And man, I love LeVar Ball, man. Everyone has their opinion on him or whatever, but man, he's awesome. He's just like about his and just talking his shit. So I love it. And he just has hella high energy. And we hit him on the Cameo to like do a little shout out and hype video for our tournament. And it went so well.
He hyped that motherfucker up.
Hell yeah, man. It was like when we first got it, man, I was like, man, this is everything I could have asked for and more. LeVar is lit. He just, yeah, man, he's great energy and just about his. So that was dope. And then we ran it back last year. But yeah, that's how we got LeVar. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was through the Cameo.
Through the Cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Like that's crazy that even success came from just you like, oh, let me go on this cameo and hopefully see what happened.
Yeah, man, it was cool, and also like with having someone like LeVar on it, it creates more engagement, and people are gonna be like, oh shit, that's LeVar, like, oh that's tight, how'd you do that? So it's always cool to have something like that involved. Anytime you could get someone that like people are into, or they have like solid influences, like fun and good for the brand. Yeah.
What encouraged you to be like like myself, so much of a Kobe fan?
Man, I think that's just what we grew up watching as Lakers fans. My dad was a Lakers fan. I think he came to America in the 80s, and the popping teams that were winning and the most popular were Lakers, Cowboys, Yankees. So that's where we grew up. I don't really pay attention to baseball much, and now being in San Diego, I'm a Padres guy. But yeah, Cowboys and Lakers been mine, and I love basketball. So like the Lakers always been my favorite team, and growing up watching Kobe. That's the first jersey I had. I still have like so many Kobe jerseys, even that like this big on me.
He went a little too top.
Yeah, but man, I just I would rock his jersey to school like every day type shit. But one, I got put onto it because I grew up watching it, and they won the back to back to back when I was young, so that was my foundation, and I kind of just like grew up with that standard of excellence, and then.
That standard of excellence.
Yeah, and just watching it, man, I don't like, you have to be drawn to Kobe. He's just raw, put his all in it, and he's just a savage, and he's just like the most what's the word? He's the most disciplined. Not discipline isn't the word I'm looking for, but detail oriented, astute. I'm not sure the exact word I'm looking for, but man, he's just locked in on it, man. It's like no weakness, and he's really doing that shit and about that shit, and yeah, man, just really about it and never cheat the game. So I think that's what really, really drew me to him and made him my favorite player ever. And who knows what will happen in the future, but like I don't see myself ever liking someone more than Kobe. That's like certainly my GOAT. Everyone will have their argument, and it's kind of pointless to even get into that. But for me, like Kobe is my GOAT for sure. Yeah.
So with Kobe being a GOAT, is that something you kind of encompass your game behind, or is like, okay, I got my own thing?
I play different. I definitely take aspects of it, it's a lot of stuff to be taken that I incorporate, but I'm a little smaller, and I've had to like through the years kind of learn a lot of stuff on like how to maneuver and like kind of hang back in the air and stuff like, and just make people miss and kind of get people off balance and maneuver my ways to get in the paint, finish shots and make people miss on time in the blocks, whatever, free up space to get a shot off. So like there's a lot of other aspects in my game as well, but I mean, I've certainly took a lot from him. Like, of course, growing up watching the turnarounds,
of course,
post game stuff like that. I definitely think I took a lot from Kobe. Some people be calling me JJ Barea, just be roasting. But nah, I like to think,
they also called your ass Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I told you about that. Yeah. So it's always a few roasts out there. One dude at the rec, we be playing Saturday, an older guy, he calls me Kyrie, which I love. That's a great honor.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Exactly.
That's a great honor. But yeah, man, I think I have some handle. I have some good vision. I think I have a really good feel for the game. I'm a capable scorer, and I think I'm like high effort and high motor. So yeah, that's kind of like how I feel about my game. Yeah.
You plan on playing in the next tournament?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we always play.
And you already got a team that you got?
Yeah. Squad, yeah.
Oh, so that ain't no problem. It's like, yo, we playing anyway.
Yeah. We still have yet to win it, but man,
I was just about to ask,
I fuck with my squad. It's solid. We have me, Tyson, the co-founder, the big homie Mills, who's someone who's taught me a lot about the game, and he's super easy to play with. Ex-college hooper. We got Joey and Matt, who we met playing through out here through COVID. Joey played at Indiana when Oladipo was there, and Matt played in college as well.
Okay, you got
Kevin Love. He like 6'6", Kevin Love type. So we got a solid little squad, but we still got to crack through and figure out how to win it. But honestly, man, like it's all good because it might be conflict of interest if we win it, and then also I enjoy kind of just kicking back and enjoying the rest of the day after.
Right.
When we get eliminated, there's still a few rounds where I could just like be floating around and enjoying the tournament. So it's all good. I'll never have like, even though I'm super competitive.
You're like, I want to win.
That's one instance where, even if we do lose, if we win, great, because I'm always trying to win. But if we, don't make it, cool, I can enjoy the tournament. But, still on the bucket list to get a chip one day. Yeah.
What was the furthest y'all made it in the tournament?
we always made it to the quarters, man. This past year, we were close to. It was a few plays that slipped away from us, and I was on the sideline. I wish I could have, made my imprint on it. But yeah, by the end of the day, man, you play so many games and you get tired and stuff, and it's like it gets tough, and it's a lot of hoopers out there too. So
definitely,
yeah.
What's that experience? How many games? And you playing back to back to back to back? Or is it like we switch it up
so
one day, next day?
It's one day, but it's set up like 2 games of pool play that you'll get seeded based off those 2 games of pool play, and that leads into a single elimination bracket. So you'll have 3 games guaranteed, and usually you'll have a little rest between the game, but like depending on how it shakes out, you might play closer to your previous game, or like you might have a longer wait. It kind of just depends on how it shakes out. But yeah, man, it's just kind of like a whole day thing. People are there chilling. We got food,
definitely
DJ, entertainment, the whole community. It's like a community event. Like people who don't even care about basketball are pulling up, just enjoying the day with us. It's like girls, guys out there, everything. Ice cream, good vibes. People just chilling. Yeah. It's like a little bit of a scene, and people get to see each other and talk and catch up. And some people meeting. Some girls meeting guys, some guys meeting girls.
Whatever the case may be.
Cool.
It's a
parents
vibe.
out there, kids out there. It's like everything, like true community event.
So it's really for everybody.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Shit, while we still got you on here, I definitely want you to let people know how they can reach you, how they can reach your brand, anybody you wanted to promote, shout out, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So
your socials, however the case may be.
For sure. So the brand, most of the stuff I'm doing and promoting and showing like what I'm up to and what's coming up, that's all on Instagram. So that's @Sneaks Clothing brand.
And no longer Sneaks SD.
Yeah, @Sneaks Clothing brand. And then the tournament is @Sneaks Summer Classic. And the website for the merch to buy everything and browse everything, that's sneaksclothing.com. And then from there, there's a Summer Classic tab as well. You could type in Sneak Summer Classic and that'll take you there directly.
Yeah.
But that's like where you could kind of see what's going on with the tournament, past photos, information, whatnot. But yeah, that's kind of how you can see what's going on with the brand. Yeah.
Definitely. I appreciate you for even giving us your time. Like you said, even just inviting us in your space, all this, like that's more love than anything.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me. And like I said, appreciate the opportunity and always, down to meet other people out here doing their thing and kind of speak about my own story and try to keep it moving and keep it going. So yeah,
and that's what we trying to promote, your own story. So it's like more people could relate to actually this dude right here instead of just, oh, I know the brand. Like you actually get to know this man himself.
For sure.
So definitely that's another episode of the BiGG Umbrella Podcast. That's big with 2 G's, the BiGG Umbrella Podcast, and it's a wrap.
I appreciate you, and I might, show off a few of the little products and stuff.
Please do.
Get all that stuff, sneaksclothing.com.
Every goddamn hat, every short, everything.
And we got, I'm gonna keep it going, especially once I finish with the school stuff. So just follow up, stay tuned in, and that's where I'm gonna be talking about everything. And especially follow the text club. That'll pop up on the website. That's where you get first dibs, exclusive deals, all that. So yeah, man, tap in. I'm gonna really try to keep doing this thing and try to just keep it going and improve along the way. So yeah, if you like what you saw, tap in and come along for the ride.
Definitely. Like I said, we appreciate this man for giving us his time, his space, all that, because he could be doing something else. This motherfucker got school. So again,
I need to be doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Cool.
No lie.
All right.
How you feel about that?
Cool. It's cool. First podcast in the books.